Hello everyone. I'm so happy to be getting back on the trail. I've been taking advantage of a couple fine days we've had, although they're far and few between this time of year. This was a 5-mile round trip from Cullen to Sunnyside Beach. My original intent was to walk to Finlaughter Castle, but I didn't quite make it, which I'll explain later. And it was only very recently that I discovered there was an Aberdeenshire coastal trail, which is 165 miles total. Okay, so it's about 7 degrees. Amazing day. So breathtaking. This bit is a little bit steep, and it goes up there. There's a little gorge. If you've been watching my coastal journey episodes, the name Cullen might sound familiar, and that's because I started here when I did the Moray Coast. I walked from Cullen and went west along this coast. However, now I'm starting in Cullen and going east. And all along this coast, there are very dramatic cliffs. I've only been to a few sections of this coast, so most of it is going to be brand new to me, which I'm really excited about. And eventually, I'll make my way all the way over to the eastern part, where it rounds down and eventually comes down to Aberdeen, which is a big city. Aberdeen might sound familiar if you've come to Scotland because there's an airport there. So some people fly in and out of there. But for now, I'm all the way over here. It's like max 10 degrees today, maybe 8 degrees. So like a little on the chilly side, but feels really good when you're working up your exercise and getting hot on the trail. But there's barely any wind and just sun, beautiful views, clear ocean. I can see for so long, and I flew my drone to see like how, if there was weather coming, and it's just clear skies. Just gorgeous. So just having a little break. I've got an iced coffee. Really excited. And this is my view. Not bad for a little break. Okay, I have a confession. When I started this walk, I didn't initially plan on filming it or sharing it. I was just going for a little scouting trip, taking reference photos for some coastal paintings I'm doing right now. So I only had my iPhone, Panasonic for the 90 times zoom just in case I saw dolphins or something, and my drone. This is my typical setup when I'm doing quick little scouting trips. Another steep bit coming up. I'm absolutely fascinated by the geology along this coast, and so I take a ton of photos of the rocks and the cliffs because it's one of my favorite things to sketch. A lot of the photos I'm taking of the rocks are going to be used as reference for a hand-drawn map and illustration guide that I'm working on for this trip. It's gonna take a while, so don't get too excited yet, but maybe in 6 months it'll be complete. Finally rounding the bend into my last bay of the day. And actually you can see my destination over there. There's the castle ruins, Finlaughter Castle. The first historical reference to Finlaughter Castle dates back to the 13th century when it was repaired and fortified against the invading Norwegians. And the Vikings did occupy the castle for a time, But the castle ruins we see today date back to the 14th and 15th century when it was rebuilt and later fell into disuse. We'll take a closer look at this site in my next episode. Sunnyside Beach is a very special place. It's one of the first beaches that Wolfie and I went to when we moved to Maury County. It does take some effort to get to, so it's often very quiet. So I thought it would be nice to share some peaceful moments with you here because, again, the light was beautiful on this evening. I think I missed my chance to make it all the way to the castle and back to the car by dark. The sun is setting way behind the hills, and there's some really sketchy sections that I don't want to do when it's really dark. So I think I'm gonna end it here at this beach. It's gorgeous. We've been here before, so we'll definitely pick up where we left off next time. I really hope you all enjoyed this little section of trail. I think I'm gonna keep heading this way the next few weeks as time allows. It's so dramatic, and apparently it's like that for many miles along the northeast coast, which I'm excited about. I really wanted to stay until the sun completely set behind the hills because every 2 minutes the light was just doing something more dramatic and beautiful. But I didn't want to take too long getting back to the car, especially on the steeper, sketchy bits. So I headed back. Because I stop a lot to take photos and videos, I always want to give myself extra time before dark. Earlier I was thinking how wonderful it is that these steps are here. It makes it a lot easier. And then I saw this sign. It's amazing. This man, Tony, built these steps single-handedly, and then the people of Cullen built this little monument to honor him. That is so cool. Thank you, Tony. Look how gorgeous the stone is. Can you see all these colors? Oh my gosh, and the patterns. Oh, wow, that is so beautiful. This is the hard part. Very steep down and then back up again. But wow, these colors, amazing. Once I rounded the bend back towards Cullen, I realized there was a fair bit of sun peeking over the horizon still, so I sat down for 20 minutes to paint some quick sketches. I decided to take a little break at this spot again and paint the view of the last beach I was at from memory. Just really quick, loose, lots of color. I'm blinded by trying to stare at the light hitting the water. And just like that, the sun is gone. Well, it's not completely gone, obviously, but this whole bay was in full sun a minute ago, glaring off the water, and I was trying to paint it. So I was frantically mixing and it just wasn't working. So at least now I have the in-person experience and all the photos and videos, so I can practice that from home. You can kind of see some light still hitting Cullen Bay on the other side there. That's where I'm headed now. Sometimes I kind of laugh out loud to myself when I'm walking, doing these hikes, because everywhere I look, I see colors and I think about how to mix them for a painting. Burnt sienna and the shadows would be ultramarine and black. A little bit of the burnt sienna. We'd have a bit of quinacridone magenta, a bit of... I know I'm not the only artist who does this, but sometimes it's quite distracting. It's hard to see just the raw beauty of where I am for what it is, rather than just thinking about how I would paint it. Yeah, I'm trying to let go while I'm doing these hikes and really just soak in the insane beauty, because it's incredible. The more I take in all this beauty, the more I feel like I'm building my internal library, my internal visual library that I draw from when I paint in the studio or paint in the future. It's a challenge because my brain is always going 1,000 miles a second. So I just came from over there along the coast and thought it might be nice to end at Cullen Beach because I just love this place and it's perfect conditions right now. Just such a calm evening and the colors are beautiful, obviously. If you enjoyed this journey, I would appreciate a thumbs up on the video, and if you like Scotland and want to see more, definitely subscribe before you go. But I'm gonna leave you with some wonderful beach scenes because I just can't get enough. Thank you for watching and I'll see you all soon. Take care.